Hello, hi, my name is Cheng Liu. Today we'll talk about one question that's asked on Quora. The question says, why do people fail in entrepreneurship? What causes it? How can I overcome it? Now, this is a very important question. A lot of people don't know that entrepreneurship often results in failure. For those people who realize that they have a big chance of failure, they want to avoid it naturally. But how do you avoid it? Can it be avoided? And so on. That's a big question. Okay. So the simple answer to this question is there are many ways for entrepreneurship to fail. And I can never convince people who have never done this before, because if you have never done it, you will never believe that it can fail. That's the biggest difference between a first-time entrepreneur and someone who have done it, who have failed. The people who have failed know that you can fail, no matter how smart you are. The first-timers never believe that they can fail. They think that there is a chance. They think there is some chance that they can make it without failure. Well, that's not true. So let me explain to you what exactly is an entrepreneurship process. Okay, and here's a diagram. 3 pictures: the plan, the idea, the plan, and the execution, the building. Now, you may have a beautiful idea. This is a spire in the middle of the desert. Wonderful idea. Great. Inspiring. Now, how do you do this? Well, you come up with a plan. This is an architecture blueprint, but you also have to have the money. You also have to have some ideas of how you're going to build it, how you're going to sustain its operation. And now the hard part really comes. The hard part is to actually build it and to actually sell it in real life. Okay? In real life, a lot of the things that you have anticipated in the plan will not work. That's the hardest part of a startup. That's the hardest part of entrepreneurship. That's the biggest difference between a theoretical plan and a real life execution. Here's another picture. This shows the process of a business. When you have a business, you roughly have 2 points. Okay, one is the product, one is the customer. The customer buys your product in the store, not from you. You can't go to a customer on a subway or on a sidewalk and just say, hey, would you like to buy something from me? Most likely the answer will be a resounding no. This is business. So entrepreneurs start business. Entrepreneurs have to build the product or select the product, have to build the store. You certainly have to have the store yourself. And you have to find customers, attract them in, and over time, make enough of them buy from you that you can make a profit. If you don't make a profit, it's not worth much to do business, right? So this is what the entrepreneurship process is. Dream, plan, execution. Now, there are many, many ways for this plan, for the idea to fail. Okay? Maybe your idea sounds logical. Maybe you're selling something that you think people would want to buy, but people don't. People think that this is too risky. People think this is too expensive. People think that you are not trustworthy because there's no relationship yet. And your competitors can undercut you. Your strong competitors can beat you. If you're offering something brand new, then maybe no one would be even searching for them on the internet. So how do you get people to respond to something that they don't even know exists? That takes a lot of time. So I just outlined about 5 or 6 different modes for which an entrepreneur can fail. Okay. Now, the question again is, why do people fail in entrepreneurship? Just because there are too many ways to fail. I have a picture for what I just mentioned. If you have a product, well, you think someone would want to buy it, but you have to lead them to your product, to a finished product. You can't say this is a half-finished product. Please believe me, would you like to buy it? They'll mostly say, buy, yes, I'll buy, bye-bye. You know what I mean? They don't want to disappoint you, but when you get a real product in their hands, then they have to look into it. Now, that's actually the easy part of the work. The hard part is to how to get the product into the hands of people. This is what is equivalent of building a track. This is called traction. Do you have traction? Do you have proof that people will buy it from you? Do you have proof that you can have multiple customers shipped to your store? And that's the hard part. There are many, many ways to fail. Okay? The track is here. This is a track. This is a track. Now, what caused it? Mostly all this failure mode, as you can see, is already known. I'm telling you what they are. But why still a lot of people fail? It's because they don't believe anything that I said. They would argue strongly with me. They would say that whatever I say is nonsense, Mr. Liu. In Reddit, they would downvote it. People don't like to hear truth, and this is a truth. The truth is that all the failure mode for startups, for entrepreneurs, have been known, but no one bothers to check. And even if they check, they wouldn't believe it because it's not logical. It's against their expectations. So the last question is, how can we overcome it? Well, to be honest, failures is a blessing in disguise. If you do not have that failure, you will never accept any of this nonsense that I'm telling you. And you can imagine if you don't accept the fact that something might fail, you're never going to succeed because you will go into execution and something bad will happen to you. And by the time you find out something bad is happening, you are already too close. You are too close to the danger that you cannot steer out of it. Then that's a failure. Okay? So it's a paradox. You have to fail first to have a success. The key, how can we overcome it? The key is not to avoid failure at all cost. The key is to have a failure without being killed. The key is to have a safe failure. And that is something that's very important. A lot of first-time entrepreneurs, they design their goals, they design their ideas, they have a business plan, but it's too lofty. It's not something that they can do themselves. They don't like the simple, small ideas like opening an Amazon store or opening a pizza restaurant in the town. They don't like it. They think it's not new. They want something grand. They want something new. They want something brand new, unique. And that's very difficult. Okay, so a lot of people fail simply because they aimed too high. They were trying to do something that they're not qualified, and they get killed. And that's the end. Okay, so the key to approach the almost certain failure is not to let it kill you in the first time. That's a key. A lot of people like Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, they all started companies when they were young. They were not killed. They just learned a lesson, and that lesson is very important. That's what we call the business mindset. If you don't have the business mindset, you won't succeed. What is the core of the business mindset? The core of the business mindset, in my mind, is knowing that you could fail. It's the humbleness. Okay, so thank you very much. I hope you enjoy this, and I'll see you in future episodes.